Yo, what is up, guys? Back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about the Seattle Seahawks. So, one of the most interesting trades I've seen, a really good player to a really good team. You don't really see it too often, but Jamal Adams, one of the best safeties in the NFL, was traded to one of the best teams in the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have been in contention in the playoffs for a long time. They've had a good team, they've had a really good quarterback, and this team is legit. I thought they were going to win the Super Bowl last year, and I thought they could win it this year. But the fact that they got Jamal Adams makes this team a Super Bowl winner. So basically, if you don't know, Jamal Adams was a safety for the New York Jets, and this dude wanted out so badly. He trashed the organization, the leadership, all that kind of stuff, the coaching staff, the ownership, and this dude literally forced his way out of New York, and he forced his way out of New York by getting traded to any team. He didn't care what team, just any team. And guess what? The Seattle Seahawks offered the New York Jets 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Bradley McDougald, and the Seattle Seahawks would receive a 4th-round pick and Jamal Adams for the trade. So, the winner of this trade, I'm not really sure right now. Because long term, I think that the Seahawks got to pay a lot of players on their team a lot of money. But at the same time, I think the Seattle Seahawks are definitely contenders to win the Super Bowl this season. But what does this mean for the Jets? It means the Jets get 2 first-round picks. They could be like early 30s, late 20s. So the first-round draft picks might not even be that good. But at the same time, 2 first-round draft picks a year for 2 straight years in a row, that's pretty good. So this is definitely, I guess you can say, a win-win for both of these teams. Maybe the Seahawks lost from the first-round picks, but at the same time, Jamal Adams, in my opinion, is worth it. And he's worth it because this team's defense could get better, and it's going to be better. The Seattle Seahawks offense, including Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson, you already know, it had a really good season last year. The Seahawks finished 11-5, got the 5th seed, and were 1 win off from clinching the NFC West last year. So it shows that this team had a really good offense. It scored a lot of points in games. And that's all you need to know. Because this defense could get better, and it's going to get better, like I just said. So what does this mean? It means, are the Seattle Seahawks going to win their division over the 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals? Definitely, yes. I believe they will. And there's no doubt about it. I think they have debatably one of the best defenses in their division now. The 49ers defense is obviously stacked. But at the same time, I think the Seattle Seahawks offense is better than the 49ers offense. 49ers really did rely on their run game last season. Raheem Mostert once out of San Francisco. Matt Breida was already traded to the Dolphins. And Tevin Coleman was not reliable last season for the 49ers. So that triple threat running back thing for the 49ers is gone. Deebo Samuel, he's coming off of an injury. He's getting surgery. I think he'll be healthy before the season starts. But that could be, bad for the 49ers offense. George Kittle, probably the best player on that team. He's going to have a good season. Expect him to be first all-team pro, in my opinion. But Garoppolo, he's not reliable, which is why I think the Seattle Seahawks offense is better. And debatably, their defense is going to be better with Jamal Adams at safety. But even if the 49ers defense was still better, which, you can think it is, I debatably think they're, pretty even. But even if it's better, no big deal. The Seattle offense is 10 times better now, and it should win the division. The Seattle Seahawks also have a really easy schedule. Besides their division that they play 6 games against, the Rams, Cardinals, and 49ers, I think they'll 5-win their division. Probably only lose to the 49ers once, maybe, or the Rams once. But I think they'll 2-0 the Cardinals and then win the other games at home. But besides that, 5-1 division record is pretty decent. And at the same time, they play the NFC East, the worst division in the NFL. They get 3 wins over the Cowboys at home. The Eagles on the road now. They beat them twice on the road last year. With Jamal Adams should be even easier. So they'll win that game. The Giants and the Redskins, 2 worst teams in the NFC, should be easy wins for them too. And of course, they do play the AFC East, including the Patriots at home, I believe. They play the New York Jets Week 14 at home. They play on the road against the Buffalo Bills, and they play on the road against the Miami Dolphins. So I think the only hard game that they should lose against those four teams is against the Buffalo Bills on the road. But besides that, I think the Dolphins game's early in the season, so the Seattle Seahawks should win that game. And the Patriots and the Jets at home should win those two easily. The funniest thing about that, though, is that Le'Veon Bell, the Jets running back, he said he was recruited to the Jets by Jamal Adams. He was the only reason why he left Pittsburgh, and for the money, of course, which he made less of, but whatever. But he was really salty on Twitter. He was calling out Jamal Adams, and Jamal Adams replied, "Noted, see you week 14." I thought that was the most savage response. He wasn't salty back. He wasn't aggressive. He said something really funny, said something that's going to be shown week 14 against the Jets at home for the Seahawks. It's going to be a good game to watch. But besides those divisions that they play, they also play the Minnesota Vikings at home, I believe. And they probably play the Atlanta Falcons on the road. So, like I said, Minnesota Vikings at home probably should be easy. And the Falcons on the road, easy win. Falcons are trash. So, I actually think the Seattle Seahawks should go 14-2, debatably lose to the Buffalo Bills on the road, maybe clutch up that game, we'll see. And I think they'll lose to the 49ers once, maybe the Cardinals once. So the Seattle Seahawks have an easy schedule. They have a really good offense, and they have a really good defense. This will not benefit the Seattle Seahawks, I guess you can say 3, 4, or 5 years from now, when they're lacking first-round picks. You already know they gave them away to the Jets. And if Jamal Adams wants to leave Seattle, that could be bad because they wasted their draft picks. But at the same time, I wouldn't say wasted because I do believe that the Seattle Seahawks should be favorites to win the Super Bowl this season. No doubt about it. Come on now. Easy. If anything, I think they should represent the NFC in the Super Bowl and probably play the Chiefs, so it'll be a good Super Bowl matchup. But there is one thing that the Seattle Seahawks are most likely going to lose, and that is Jadeveon Clowney. Because I do believe that Jadeveon Clowney is not going to be paid because Jamal Adams was sent to the Seattle Seahawks. They're not going to have any room for him. This is obviously an invitation for Jadeveon Clowney to leave the Seahawks. And if the Seahawks somehow pull off a miracle to sign him, then it's even easier for Super Bowl. Everything I mentioned before the video, before I just mentioned this, of course, I do believe it's without Jadeveon Clowney. But Jamal Adams, I think he could be a bigger impact than Jadeveon Clowney had for the Seattle Seahawks defense. But at the same time, I 100% guarantee Jadeveon Clowney is not going to play for the Seahawks in 2020, which could be bad. But if the Seahawks somehow sign him, oh my gosh, that defense probably top 3 in the NFL. So, what do you think? Do you think the Seattle Seahawks are clear favorites to win the Super Bowl? Or do you think Jamal Adams is overrated? Leave a comment down below. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Adios.